Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Mechak, Wadash. Right, double honors to the apostles of GMS.
Double honors.
And honors you brothers in the work and truth, while sincerity. We just, through the Spirit laws, we're just going to get into a topic, see where the Spirit leads. I got one real quick. This is Matthew, since we mentioned it before, Matthew 24:22. And except those days should be shortened, they should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Right? Now, what this is talking about is how, look, if the Lord doesn't come back, right, Esau, who's got this God complex, if you can get Ezekiel 28, Esau, who's got this God complex, right, he's going to run amok. I mean, you look at what is happening now, where you've got, I remember the elder brother, or an elder brother from Markham even mentioned it, you be wanting to look at a booty, but first you got to verify whether that's a woman or a man. Right? Why? Because you need to, you got all of these transgenders and this, that, and the other. Like, for instance, the chief executive of Victoria's Secrets, I think it was, quit because they've now got a transgender model, man.
Yeah. Right?
And the thing is, you look at this thing and you wouldn't even fucking know.
Nah, you wouldn't know. It's just so hard to tell in a picture. Yeah.
You had to be told. And there was stories about. I mean, it was I've not verified it myself, so I won't go into that. But yeah, if we can grab that for me up.
Okay, this is Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus.
Right, which nowadays is referencing Esau, right? The so-called white man, right?
Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up.
Right, and that's the proof it's talking about Esau, right? Because it's talking about thy heart being lifted up. And that's referencing pride. And who's the most proud on the face of the planet Earth? What did the British say? The British said that the sun never sets on the British Empire, right? I saw a quote from Cecil J. Rose, right? A so-called white man who basically had control over Zimbabwe for a period of time, was basically saying how the English have won the lottery of life, right? And then you have what's called the Americans, who say, which the America came out of Great Britain, right, which is why the scripture will say things like, thy mother shall be sore confounded, right? And you have America will say, no one can fight, not even God can fight against the American military. Well, God is going to fight against the American military, and he's going to destroy it off the face of the planet Earth.
Yeah. It says, I sit in the seat of, has lifted up the head, the heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. And
once again, who is that? Well, that's Esau, man, right? Because he's basically looked at the scriptures and he's turned things upside down, as the scriptures said, right? The Lord said, male and female made he them, right? But then what does Esau come and say? Actually, male, female, transgender, cisgender, blah, 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 blah. Right, to now there's a whole load of different genders out there where no one can name them all, right?
And it says, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man.
Right, and the Lord's going to remind Esau, if you can load up 2 Ezra 13, right? The Lord's going to show Esau that he's just but a man, right? Because Esau's, like I said, he's got that God complex at the moment. He's doing all manner of wickedness throughout the planet Earth, and the Lord's going to repay him for it, right?
Yep. And it says, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Oh man, and he is. Right? Like, for instance, we was just looking into that geezer, Sims,
yeah.
Right? The way Esau's been going around doing his experiments, right, trying to find out the solutions for this. You think about something like Neuralink, man. Right? The ability that this man has to basically let a computer speak to a human, and a human to be able to hear again. Right, scriptures talk about his miracles, man. Right, someone who's able to hear again, and that's by sticking computers into your brain. Hey, that is wisdom, man.
Yeah, right? And that wisdom really is just given for a certain time.
Yep.
To try and deceive people by the miracles, as it's written in Revelations, man.
Yep.
But that ain't on no level, man.
Yeah.
Because when Peter chopped off, I think Malchus' ear, how shall I heal that instantly?
Yep. There wasn't need for no surgery.
No stitches. There were none of that.
Yeah. No scars.
That ear came straight back on, man.
Yeah.
The ear got healed instantly.
Yep.
You know, they're not sitting on operation table.
Yeah.
So the ultimate wisdom is Yahweh Shai. That's the ultimate wisdom from Yahweh Shai. But right now they've been given that wisdom. You know, they've got the tech, they got the technology right now, man, and that's lifted up their head.
Yeah.
You know, what does it say? Wisdom, knowledge puff them up.
Yeah.
You know, and it has puffed them up. They ain't got no humility, man.
Yeah.
You know, even when you mentioned the man called Sims, which they call him the father of gynecology. You know, and they also in the video that we watched, they called him. What did they say? They said
the architect of
the architect of the vagina, which the architect of the vagina on a woman is the Most High.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, and it's very good.
Yeah. And because the scriptures even say that when you read the Apocrypha, it says, "And the pleasure in Wisdom 7."
Right.
It talks about how every child is born, and it says, "And the pleasure that came with sleep," right? Meaning that sex is pleasurable, which means the Lord designed it for that purpose, man. You know, that's one of its uses, man. And you think about, the female vagina is something, man. When you look into the biology of it, you know, I know it's kind of gone, you know, a different topic. Self-cleaning and all of that, slightly alkaline, no, slightly acidic rather, so it kind of helps like clean itself and all of that, right? But the way the Lord has designed everything, the Lord has designed everything in its perfection. But now you got Edomite trying to take credit.
Yeah, which is trying to take. It's the heart of God. He's trying to be. His mind. He's trying to have the mind of God. But you are not a power man. You are not the Most High. You are just a man.
Yep. Hey, for instance, also you've got Oppenheimer, who said, "I am become destroyer of
worlds."
the worlds.
Yeah.
Right. He basically quoting the Bhagavad Gita, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right, but if I can get this one real quick, right? It says Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. When evil means a bad time. So when bad things are happening on the earth, who did it? God. Right, the Most High did it. So when he's saying I'll become destroyer of walls or whatever, what have you, no, you ain't. You've just been given the power to do it. Or you've been given the knowledge and understanding to do it, right?
Yeah.
I, the Lord, do all these things, right?
Yeah. And that's, to be honest, that Oppenheimer guy, he was in that right spirit for Edom.
Yeah.
Because first of all, what did the scripture say? The scripture said that you know, it mentions that the wicked are the Lord's sword. Right, and it also says that he has become as death in Habakkuk.
Yeah.
You know, so he was really that Edomite was in that right spirit, man. He was in that Edomite spirit.
Yeah, and also Revelation 6:4 had been given the great sword.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because that's his blessing. Yeah, his blessing is any kind of wisdom this guy gets. Because you think about it like this. Okay, we've got mobile phone technology. Okay, we've got 4G network and this and that. But all of that, I guarantee you, most of it has been through the military first. You know, like for example, before you had access to public radio, you had radio in the world wars.
Yeah.
You know, you had broadcasting through there. Before you had walkie-talkies, you had the radio-controlled talkmen in the armies.
Yeah.
You know, like in terms of like military vehicles and all of that tech is first pumped into the military because that's how this man runs his society, man. It's a military-based society, and his blessing is the sword that was given to him from the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same kind of system that they had with the Romans.
Yeah.
Like that great army. You know.
Yeah. That's right.
You want me to get Ezra's?
We'll get into that. There's still more in Ezekiel 28.
So it says back in Ezekiel 28:3, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee." With
and
that,
also when you read Psalm 64th chapter, it speaks about how Esau's performed it.
Yeah. For you, I might get it. This is Psalms chapter 64. I'll get straight to the point. The brother's quoting. It says, verse 6. "They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep."
Right. So and when you look into Esau's studies and all that, he has to spend money. Like I remember one of our brothers in the camp was explaining, look, when a guy's a researcher, he's still got bills to pay. He needs funding to be a researcher. Now Esau will pay for someone to be, for instance, an archaeologist. He will pay, okay, cool. What you're going to do, you're going to go to Mount Ararat, right? And then you're going to basically find what you can find over there to see whether the scriptures are true. Then you got all of the stuff. So once again, I'll mention Neuralink again. You know, those guys have dedicated, the top scientists in those companies have dedicated their lives, right? This isn't just a month project or a 6-month project. These guys have been researching the brain and interaction with it for years upon years. And the guys that are coming in are basing their work off of a literature of work from years before them. Now, all of those people have to be paid, right? And that's part of that diligent search where they're going into this, they're going into that, they're going into this, so that they have an understanding of the things that they're looking at, man.
I kind of vaguely remember this from the documentary, so you know, if I make a mistake, I'll go back and comment on it. But the man who made the chip, the RFID chip implant, he barely mentioned any kind of budgeting.
Yeah.
You know, that he had a team of people, and pretty much the guys who were orchestrating it, they had everything they needed, and we need this, we need that, and however much time you need, and they were basically doing it. And he also shows you that in these movies, like they might get like a top scientist, who, you know, okay, you're gonna create a biological weapon, right? So the guy will be in the lab, and it's like, no, okay, how much do you need? No, like money in a question.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they'll all come. I don't care how much it costs. Just get it fucking done.
Right.
That's more likely how the conversation went.
Right.
You know, because you know that's how these guys move. They don't care. They got an agenda. Like, I don't want money in an issue. Get it done.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be in line with this. This is back in Ezekiel 28 and 4. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and thou hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Yeah, hey, and this man has gotten riches. He's got an ownership of the world. It's that and the other, right? His navy and his armies can go around that because when you look into some of that military technology, that's some science for you, right? And with that science and understanding, he's gone around being able to be the hammer of the whole world, right? But then the greed got to him because he then gave that same technology to his, to people who are going to turn up and be his enemies, man.
Yeah.
Right?
And in the documentary in Panama Deception, which was, I believe that was in 1989. Now in 1989, what, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
20 years ago, there was an eyewitness who said that they brought out a laser and they melted a car with that laser.
Yeah.
So that means they had laser tech back then enough to melt a car back in 1989. So what kind of tech have they got now? Military tech.
Exactly.
Think about it. They got exoskeletons, they got, cyber stuff. And
the way I've always looked at it is, you think of a film like Batman, and just imagine that ain't none of that is CGI. Just imagine that's all real shit, and they actually do have all of that, right? Because it's not beyond them. If they can, what do you call? Because sometimes they'll make the props. Like for instance, I know Christopher Nolan likes to make the thing because he doesn't really like CGI in his films, right? So then in those instances, they can make it for a film. They can fucking make it in the tech, man.
Right.
In the tech industry, because that's these things. Once again, it's a thing of when you have unlimited resources, you just let your mind. You think about all of the stuff you was trying to do when you was a child, man.
Right.
You think of that mind, but then what always stops you? Nah, I haven't got money to do that.
Exactly.
I haven't got the tools to do that. But this is a man who said, okay, cool. So wait. If you think about, you really think, so it's like, I'm not going on a bit of a tangent. You think about how inefficient bullets are. Like first you gotta get the metal, then you gotta pack it on the back of your machine, right? And then guess what? Once the bullets are done, then your vehicle, your cannon, what do you call it? The one with the moving arm, your tank.
Yeah.
Now that's out of use. Right, if you're on a warship or whatever, you used all your ammunition. Now you got to go back and get a refill. That's inefficient. So what if you could lasers? Right. Let's work on lasers. Right. Now that's more efficient. Right, let's say you need electricity. Well, you got the sun all around you. And what else do they use? They got that nuclear technology. And with that nuclear technology, they've got an endless supply of electricity. So then they got the rail guns and all of that. That. If you're an Edomite and you're trying to optimize death, right?
Yeah. Because if your blessing is the sword,
exactly,
a killing instrument.
A killing instrument, man. Yeah. You're gonna spend your time mastering that technology because once again, bullets are inefficient, man.
Yeah. And in the movie Good Will Hunting, which is funny because the guy in Good Will Hunting, played by what's that guy's name, man? He's got Ben Affleck and Matt Duncan, what's his name?
Damon?
Matt Damon, that's it. Matt Damon is the main character, and basically he gets picked up by an MIT professor. And MIT is one of the universities. It's one of the top, one of the top mathematics and engineering kind of universities in the world. And that's where these elites go. They go to these universities and they pick up talent there. Because what Aaron Russo was speaking about that with
Rockefeller.
Oil Boy.
Rockefeller.
No. Oil Boy, man. What's his name again?
Oh, him.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. That documentary. Aaron Russo was talking about Alex Jones. That's it. That Oil Boy. This is David. But in that film, he went to an interview. Now, this guy had a brilliant mind. He went to an interview with the NSA. Now, I know it's the film, but they show you things in these films, Hollywood, right? These witches and warlocks. And in that film, what did he say? He said, I don't know about you guys. You guys are 6 times the size of the CIA. And he's like, well, we don't like to brag. But if you come work for us, you'll be getting to work with the highest tech that ain't out there and open to the public. He said, and he was like, string theory, quantum physics, and all this kind of stuff.
What was the sorry, bro. Sorry.
No, go on.
No, finish your point.
He said quantum physics, string theory, and he said, you'd be working with the highest tech if you work for us, which shows that, code breaking and all that. They were basically showing that, these secret organizations, okay, they do deal with this stuff. And you mentioned what we read Psalm 64, the diligent search, the inward thought of. When this is the inward thought of everyone of the heart is deep, it's not just talking about David Rothschild sitting there and he's pondering all the deepness and the Lord's given everything. It means that they've got think tanks, they've got research agreements worldwide, international, they've got hacker groups, they've got guys that are sitting there and their whole life, they've got guys that go through the scriptures. Their whole life is just, they go there, like the brother mentioned, okay, it says this in the scripture. In the Egypt, it said that the children of Israel did this. Then they'll go and dig it up. Endless research, endless. And you know what? You know why Esau's doing that? Because he knows. They know that there's power in the scriptures. They know who the Most High is. Because they got it over in there in the Freemason temple. They know that, man. But they put the words behind them, man.
They do. So I'll just make a quick point. Remember the apostle was speaking this week about and the things I forget the name of the project, but I do remember hearing about it.
Project Manhattan, but I don't know if it was the same project.
No, the project where they were sending people, teleporting people, and then people ended up in some fucked up places and all of that.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But that was one thing the apostle was speaking about this week. But that's part of that research and that diligent search. Now, if you can do all of that, you're gonna think you're a god, man, right?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's got the kind of funding. I'm gonna go back to where they show you in films. When in the 70s, the guy was doing experiments with LSD and mind-altering drugs within the military. So they're doing all kinds of psychological, technological tests to get the most out of what they're trying to get. To be the superpower on the earth. And that's why when the Lord, we're going to read it in Ezra's. When the Lord comes back, the Lord ain't coming back on a mule. Okay, the Lord is coming back. When the scriptures talk about a white horse, that's representing power. When the Lord's coming back, he's coming with advanced military tech. Because the chariots do have military in them. It says they open their mouth. Talk about the lasers.
Of hosts as well.
You want to talk about lasers? Hey, these chariots are doing things where. These chariots are doing things where you got Esau's got his flying, and he's meant to be the prince and the power of the air. This guy's got his F-35s and all that. Right. These chariots have. You had a guy that was really good at football in school, and he twined everyone. He would do the skills and get through everyone. That's what these chariots are doing in the air, man. They're making Esau's technology look slow and archaic. Because the Lord's given them the technology. It says what? It says I created the smith.
Blow up the coals.
To blow up the coals on the fire, which Elder Required Coleman was talking about at camp. And he was saying, they're fine tuning the metal and the alloys that go together to make these nukes. Same thing that a blacksmith does. The alloys to make the sword.
Hey, it's because you said that the Lord ain't coming back on a mule. It says Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Right? And that's talking about Esau. All his nastiness is being brought out into light, right? So that such that people are now slowly but surely, you know what, this man's a devil.
The reason I said that specifically, I didn't say a horse. I said a mule.
A mule, a
donkey. In a sense, because why? Because there was a time when the Lord did come in that with palms, because the Lord was coming humble. That was
Yeah.
the King of Kings.
Yeah.
He was coming humble, man. When he came in the form of Yahushua and came as a man in the flesh.
Yeah.
But the Lord is like the brother's about to read. The Lord ain't coming back like that this time.
Exactly.
No, no.
It says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man.
Nah, this time the Lord ain't coming back as a man. See, even as a man, the Lord said, look, he said, what do you say to Pilate? He said, think not that I can call down, or he said, I don't know if he said to Pilate, but he said, think not that I can call down 12,000 legions of angels.
Yeah.
Brevity, I pray to my Father, and he'll send them down. So the Lord could have called them chariots.
Was it 12 legions? 12 legions?
Yeah, he said, well, I could have called down those. Basically, the Lord could have had chariots swarming in the skies.
Yeah.
They were already there anyway, because there's pictures of that in 70 AD, all that. They could have, chariots are around.
Could have
manifested. The Lord could have done that, but it wasn't the time. That's why the brother's reading.
Yeah.
I will not what?
Yeah. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man.
The Lord ain't coming as a man this time. The Lord's coming as a power. He's coming in his glory. He's coming in that. What does the scripture say? It says he's going to come with the host of heaven. Why does it say the host?
Yeah.
Of heaven. What is it? When you think of a war, an ancient war film, what does it talk about? The host. Like in World of Warcraft, you have the orcs, which are really they're jakes. They have the orcs coming in, not World of Warcraft. Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah. In Lord of the Rings, the Jake, they come in that host, with the war chief and all that. And the war chief is Yahushua. He says in righteousness he doth judge and make war. That's what the Lord's coming to do. Okay, he's coming as a power, man. But you guys want to keep going on like your gods? Well, you're gonna find out, because a god just means power, a judge, a power. You about to find out, okay, who the representation of the Most High on earth is going to be, man. Yahushua is going to come down, okay, in like manner as his father, with that power, man.
That's right.
He's been glorified by Yahweh. You don't want to, and the Most High, boy. Ezra tried to question the Most High.
Yeah.
And the Most High made him look stupid.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, man, you need to wait a fire."
Yeah.
Turn back there yesterday.
Yeah.
He said, "You want to come slick and you not ask questions about my plan. This is what it is, man."
Yeah.
You want to go back to, you want to read Ezra or go back to
Ezekiel, yeah.
Come. This is back in Ezekiel 28, verse 6. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him...
This is one of my favourite verses, man.
Yeah. When you get your head chopped off, wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? But thou shalt be a man, and no God, in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers.
That's right.
For I have spoken it, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
That's right.
Oh man, that shit making me happy.
Yeah. With all the pride that you have, right now you can be like, this, that, and the other. No one, can defeat the American military, and then Lord's gonna defeat the American military. What you gonna say then? All right. The scripture is saying in Revelation, the 18th chapter, right, that all the nations are gonna look at America burning. Right, America gonna be destroyed in 1 hour, man. 1 hour, 400 years. Plus of blood, sweat, and tears, and in 1 hour it's all gone.
Yeah, man. Ezra's.
Yep.
Right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13.
If you jump to near enough the point.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Verse 8. Verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Yeah.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
Yeah, so that's talking about Yahushua, the chariot man coming from the heavens, right?
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it was a chariot.
Yeah, massive chariot.
Yeah.
Massive.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Yeah, so they're going to be shitting their pants, but they still going to try and fight the Lord, man. But why? That's because the Lord is going to put the spirit in them to fight, man. So that this destruction is almost like how people be sitting in a movie watching ID4 with their popcorn, man. Where it's going to be a sight to behold. Well, we're going to look back on these days like, man, that's an Edomite sign. Are they the guys that tried to fight against God?
Yeah. And lo, as you saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath.
Yeah, so that's those laser beams, man. Well, once again, you see it's an ID4 War of the World. This ID4
War of the World says it.
Yeah, it goes above like the Washington Monument, and it just it zaps. Well, it's basically, the whole premise is you'll be going around, just zaps, and then the building, gets disintegrated. And
You
all
had
of
that
that.
in the original Independence Day.
Yeah.
There was a Empire State Building.
Yeah.
The people on the top, all that, destroyed. And that's what's going to be happening, man. Because you're going to be getting little green aliens out there. You're going to get tall, so-called black men.
Yeah.
Which are the angels, man. They're melanated, man. When they come with them, their bodies, man. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude.
So you got like once again ID4 where they got all the fighter jets going and attacking the ship.
Nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
Yeah, so imagine you got like hundreds of of these fighters just trying to attack.
Yeah.
Oh no, better way when Thanos does.
Yeah.
And then just slow.
Yeah. And it says, and this is Ezra speaking. He said, "When I saw this, I was afraid."
Hey, and the Lord showed Ezra some visions, man. Because there it says, "When I saw this, I was afraid." Then you read the 16th chapter. It says, "Woe is me! Woe is me! You shall deliver me in those days."
Yeah, man.
Right. So this destruction that's to come, although we look forward to it, it's gonna be some stuff, man. Right. Which is why we need the cloak of Yahweh Shem Yahshua on us to take us through those times, man. And always remember that's why ultimately we're fighting in this thing of ours. Yeah, it might get difficult in the flesh. What does the scripture say? It says, for our light affliction worketh for us a more excellent, eternal weight of glory. And that word eternal is literal, man. We gonna actually live forever. The only reason why we die is because we sin. The wages of sin is death. But in the kingdom we ain't gonna sin, and that's the second covenant, man.
Yeah.
Right. So we fight such that in the hope we can have that protection in those last days.
Yeah.
Right.
Scripture talk about as birds flying, so the Lord defend Jerusalem.
That's right.
So the Lord's come with them chariots, and ultimately, man, that's the whole point of salvation. It says in Luke the first chapter that should be saved from our enemies.
Yeah.
And we ain't got our own power to defeat. But our power is not in carnal things. It's a spiritual power. Our power is a power that hides himself.
Yeah.
We believe in Yahweh Shemel Shai, and that's our defense.
Yeah.
That's our rock. That's our strength.
It's all about that faith.
And it's faith. And it's only given as a gift to those that can believe, man. That were set up to believe in, and Lord willing, we endure to the end. We're of that number. Our trust is in Yahweh Shemel Shai. We don't have any strength of our own. Our strength is the ultimate being. And his son, which is the second ultimate being on the earth, man, and in existence.
Yeah.
So that's our power. We're not like Esau, where we're trusting in our riches and trusting in weaponry. Well, actually, technically we are, but everything Esau does, he does carnally. Everything we do, we're doing spiritually. See, Esau trusts in his riches. Well, we trust in our riches, which is the wisdom of the scriptures. Okay, and the faith. He trusts in these carnal weapons. Well, our weapons of warfare are not carnal but spiritual, man. Okay, it starts with his word. It starts with Yahweh Shemel Shai, because these are his words. This is his will and his word, man.
Yeah.
So this man's getting taken down. He's moving around like he's the Most High. Look, man, you ain't no power, man. The Most High is gonna set up the sons of Israel as powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, through the Spirit, Lord's will, you are edified. Until next time, we're gonna say Shalom.
Shalom.